Warning: due to the graphic content in this program, viewer discretion is advised.
Hollister, California is the kind of place where crime usually whispers. But this case did not come in quiet. It came screaming through a cyber tip labeled Priority 1, and what investigators found was horrifying. Authorities say 31-year-old Fidelina Perez was arrested after allegedly performing lewd acts on a young girl and posting the images and videos online. According to the San Benito Sheriff's Office, the tip came from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and it warned that the abuse was not historical. It was active. It was happening right then. Within 2 hours of that tip, investigators had her name, her location, and a pair of handcuffs waiting. They moved fast because they had to. According to law enforcement, the child was believed to be in immediate danger, and they acted to stop the abuse before it could continue any longer. The complaint lists one confirmed victim, a young girl referred to only as Jane Doe under the age of 14. While officials do not believe there are other victims, they have identified multiple individuals who may have received the graphic content Perez allegedly produced. Let us make one thing clear. This is not about poor judgment or a mistake. This is about intention. The images were not just viewed. They were created, and that puts this case in a category of its own. From a criminal psychology standpoint, what we see here is a deeply troubling behavioral profile. Female offenders and child exploitation cases are rare, but when they appear in roles involving production of material, they are almost always methodical, detached, and driven by a compulsion that overrides maternal instinct. Perez is a mother, but in this case, she is not accused of protecting children. She is accused of targeting them. This is the kind of reversal that shakes the public because it forces us to confront something we are uncomfortable admitting, that women can be predators too.
Yeah, very graphic. Something a normal person does not want to see. It was difficult for us.
Defense attorneys have already stepped forward with context. They say Perez was a victim of severe abuse herself, both physical and sexual. They argue her trauma may have shaped her actions, and they want the court to consider that during sentencing. Here is where psychology gets complicated. There is absolutely a connection between childhood trauma and adult offending behavior. That has been studied for years. But trauma is not a pass. It is not permission. A scar is not a license to harm. And no history of pain justifies creating new pain for a child. Victims with trauma histories often develop something psychologists call compartmentalization. They build mental walls around what they are doing. They block out empathy. They see the act but not the harm. That is not healing. That is pathology. District Attorney Joel Buckingham was direct. He reminded the public that cases like this do not always stay local. Federal charges are possible when you deal with child exploitation material. And if convicted at the federal level, Perez would be facing a much longer sentence than the state could offer. For now, Perez has pleaded not guilty. She is out of custody after posting $75,000 in bail, and is due back in court on July 14th to set a preliminary hearing date. But even without a conviction, this case is already a reflection of something larger. The public still struggles to understand how women could commit crimes like this. We ask softer questions. We offer excuses. We hesitate to believe it. But the victims do not get that luxury. The victims do not get softer outcomes. This case should serve as a wake-up call. Because the moment we stop holding female offenders to the same standard as men, we leave a door open. A door that predators like Perez allegedly walk through, while the rest of us are looking the other way. She may have been hurt before, but now she is accused of becoming the very thing that hurt her. That is not survival. That is betrayal. This is Vanessa Hartwell, and I will not sugarcoat it. I will not whisper. This case is sick. And if the evidence is what it appears to be, Perez is not a misunderstood woman. She is a danger to children. And the law is catching up. Subscribe to Women Are Evil Too. Because the most dangerous criminals are the ones we do not want to believe exist.